Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Kurt, aka Vitruvian Gamer, and today I'm doing a list of the games that I'm interested in, the games that will be showed and or sold at GenCon 2019. Now, sadly enough, I live in small old Belgium in Europe, and I will not be able to attend GenCon, sadly enough. It's on my bucket list, but I don't know if it will ever happen. But these are games that if I would go to GenCon, then these are the games that I will be looking at, trying out and or buying without even trying them out. So, sorry about the cat, sometimes he will appear in the video, probably. That's what he does. Normally I film with a background of board games. Sadly enough, I didn't have space to put my laptop and my microphone on the table in that room because I'm filming a playthrough and the table is completely filled up. That's how it goes. So let's just start with some games that will be demoed. I've got 6 of them. 6 of them that I want to talk about. And the first one that I want to talk about is, Adventure Games Monochrome Ink. This is by designer Matthew Dunstan and Phil Walker Harding. They have very good games, as you might know. It's by Cosmos. And this is a new game in the world of the escape room games. But it looks like it is more about the story as well. So it looks a little bit more deep. Unlike the Exit games, for example, this series focuses on telling and discovering of the story with no time pressure, so not 1 hour to solve everything, but there are more paths that you can follow and that you might discover. So it looks cool designers, that's for sure. So I'm really looking forward to adventure games, which are, I think there are a few of them. Sadly enough, still only for demo. I'm not sure when it will be released, but I'm curious about this. The next one that will be demoed, maybe even, I might only be for demo for people of importance, people of various press and social media stuff, and that's Return to the Dark Tower, or Return to Dark Tower. It's set to be released, I think, next year only, and it is a remake, revival of an old game, Dark Tower, a game from 81. Now, I am a child of the 80s. I was born in 1980, and I never played this game. I guess it's because it was too expensive. There is something in my memory that still remembers the game, but I've never played it, never owned it, that's for sure. I guess it was too expensive for that time. It had some technology in it, so probably the price was a little bit high. So I never saw it. Now Restoration Games is picking it up and it's making a new version. There is nothing to be seen yet, only the cover, which looks pretty cool. Cool artwork. I've seen one more piece of artwork in a mail that they sent me, the press mail, and it's looking cool. It has the same style as the cover. So that's Return to the Dark Tower. I'm curious what they will do with it, and it plays 1 to 4 players, so it can be played solo. Sounds interesting to me. The next one, that's the one. So I'm a huge fan of Welcome To, and this is a kind of a spiritual successor to Welcome To. It's called Floor Plan. Floor Plan is also a game that they say it's for 1 to 100 players because you get 100 sheets in the box. And in this game, you're trying to build. Well, you're an architect and you're trying to design a house for a client. Together with rooms and the garden, some landscaping, and this is with dice, so it's not a flip and write like Welcome To, but it uses dice. I'm very interested. I think the box looks pretty cool. The blue, it pops out, and I already saw some. I read the rule book already for the you could download a small part of the game already to try it out. I haven't done it yet, but it's one that's high on my watch list. Sadly enough, not for sale yet normally. Next one is a little bit of a cheat because I'm sure I'm going to get this game because it's the Isle of Cats. I don't only have cats running around here, also there are games about cats. Isle of Cats just had a very successful Kickstarter. I was one of the backers because it was cats, it was polyomino tiles with cats, so both things I like, cats and polyomino playing pieces that you have to puzzle on a ship. You're going to rescue cats from an island or something like that. Meanwhile, you want the cats to chase the rats on the boat, and also there's treasure involved as well. And Mr. Robinson already thinks me talking about cats sounds awesome, he thinks. I think as well. So that's one if I was there, I would definitely try it out because I'm eager to get it, but I'll probably have to wait for a while. I'm not sure if it's still for this year. I don't think it will be, so long wait, sadly enough. And the last that I want to talk about is a game that I already saw being demoed, but I didn't have time to really experience a demo myself, and that's Sanctum. Sanctum by Czech Games Edition, CGE, and I believe it has some of the mechanisms of Adrenaline, but this is more an adventure, an epic adventure, a competitive game still for 2 to 4 players, and also it's inspired by hack and slash video games. So looks cool, the artwork looked cool even from the demo already. A lot of cards, items that you can get, and it's most of the time it's not my kind of game, but Adrenaline was a very big surprise for me. I liked it quite a bit. I didn't expect me to do so. So Sanctum is one I want to try out as well. It's for demo at GenCon. And now we go to I had one more that's being demoed only, and that is a game. It used to be 1 or 2 players. Apparently they changed it to 1 to 4 players now, and it's the newest game from Ryan Lawcat. Also the designer and the artist and the publisher is all the same guy, as we might already know. And again, I say Lawcat and you see a cat tail. This is it was a 1 to 2 player game originally, so now it's 1 to 4 players, and it's again an atlas game. So you have a book with maps, and each page of the atlas is a small portion of the world that you can discover and have adventures on. Looks cool. It's cooperative. It has hand management, pressure luck, and storytelling. A lot of things that I like. So very curious to see what it brings. Okay, that's for demos. Now let's get to the stuff that's being sold at GenCon. First, I'm going to mention, it's 21 games, like my lucky number, which is pretty cool. The first one is a cheat a little bit, because I already own the game. I know I like it. If I would not have the game already, and if I were to go to GenCon, I would definitely try this out, and I would definitely get this. I got it already from the publisher, as you probably know, and that's Empires of the North by Portal Games. This is a new game in the Imperial Settlers universe. You have 6 clans. Each player can play a clan of their choice. You're trying to build up your empire, your clan. You can go sailing and conquering islands. You can build stuff. You can activate buildings to send workers to places. There's very little attacking in this game, but there is some if you want. And oh man, I really enjoy this game. So if you are still doubting, go check it out. Empires of the North, I really like it. All right, that's enough publicity for Portal Games. Let's go to the next one. And now I'm not going to put them in any order. It's not a top 20 or top 21. It's just some games that I have here. So next one that I have here on my list is Undo. This is a series of games that they will be releasing where there has been a murder or a death of someone, and you can go back into time a couple of times, I think, to certain points in time, trying to figure out what happened, and especially how you can stop this, how you can how you can stop that person from dying. Looks cool. It's also, I think, in the escape room universe of games, but it has that cool time travel element to it, and also I think a little bit more focus on the story. So very curious about that. There are a couple of them already coming out. The one you see here is the Blood in the Gutter box. Next one is an expansion. Now, this is a little bit silly that I'm already looking forward to have this expansion because, so it's the expansion for Merlin, and this is called Merlin Knights of the Round Table. Now, there has been already one expansion, which I already forgot how it was called. I have it, I think the Archer expansion, if I'm not mistaken. I own that expansion. I was very excited to have it, but it's still in shrink. So I haven't put it on the table yet. Still, I like Merlin, the game, quite a bit. And this adds the Knights of the Round Table, which I think might be a very cool add-on to the game. It's very simple as well. Each player gets 2 Knights of the Round Table that will assist them during the game. Sounds pretty cool. Just changes it a little bit. It's not a big expansion, I guess. Alright, next is another expansion of a game that I only played once. I liked it quite a bit. It's the expansion for Villainous, and this one is called Evil Comes Prepared. And why do I want this one, or why am I excited for this one? It's purely because of the Lion King. As you can see on the cover, that's Scar over there. So you can now play Scar, and you can, well, you have cards now with images of characters from the Lion King, which I really like. It's my favorite Disney movie. You also have Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove and Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective, which I think I haven't seen that last one. So that's a little bit more out of my league, but Scar, that's in The Lion King. That's why I really want this in my collection. Next one for sale, and this is also something that is actually out of my league because I don't know anything about it, but apparently it's something from an IP, and this is called Horrified. So Horrified is a cooperative game. I don't know how it plays, but you are going to face a couple of monsters in this game. I'm not sure if you're playing the Bride of Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy, the Visible Man, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, or if there are enemies in this game. But still, it looks cool. I need some more Halloween games for in October, and apparently this is a game that many people are looking out for. So I'm eager to check out what it is. It's going to be difficult. I think it's only going to be released in September or October here in Belgium and Europe. So we'll probably have to wait. That's why if I was going to GenCon, I would definitely check this out. It looks pretty cool. Next on the list is also a game that's hard to get here in Belgium. I guess I could get it through Amazon, but then I have the shipping and all that stuff. So I'm waiting until it will arrive here. I prefer to try it out first, but because I'm actually not a big fan of one versus many games, but I've heard good things about this one, and it's Jaws, the board game, in which one player plays the shark, and the other players play the different characters from the movie, trying to save people from getting eaten by the shark. And it plays in 2 phases. So at first you have the island with the beaches and then the shark swimming around. And the second phase of the game, you have the boat where they are on, and the shark is attacking the boat and they're trying to kill the shark. Sounds cool, looks pretty neat. I'm curious. I wish I could try it out. If I could buy a copy, then I probably would already. Next is another expansion, which is one of a game that I really like. I didn't back the expansion because shipping was oh so high. I think that was the same thing for the base game when it was on Kickstarter. So also then I didn't buy it. I was lucky to get to buy the Kickstarter version at Spiel. So I'm hoping that it will be at Spiel also available, the Kickstarter version. And this is the expansion for Everdale, and it's called Everdale Pearlbrook, which adds some water creatures and stuff to it. New board, the riverboard, is getting added. you can send your frog ambassador to there to gather a new resource, pearls. And of course, you'll encounter aquatic creatures or critters and constructions. And with the pearls, you can build fabulous wonders and adornments. Sounds cool. Everdale is a great game, an expansion with pearls and frogs and marvelous buildings. I'm in. I wish I was in. Next is another expansion. I think it's going to be... No, it's not the last one. There's one more after this one. This is one of a game that I really like. It plays quickly. It's one of my favorite fillers at the moment. And it's a deck builder called Shards of Infinity. And the expansion is called Shadows of Salvation. Now, this is the second expansion already for this game. And I didn't know that it was coming. So I'm pretty excited about this. And... you can now choose two modes to play: a classic game using the hero res new relics, and you can also and allies also to take down your opponents in player versus player, or heed the warning of time travel res and play cooperative in a new campaign mode. Now that sounds interesting to add to this game, a campaign mode, cooperative play. So I really like my deck builders to be cooperative, and if I get both choices, I'm definitely in. So I'm really curious to see how people feel about this expansion, if people in the United States at GenCon can already try this out and buy it. The next one, and I'm trying to go as fast as I can, is called Old West Empresario. This hasn't been on my radar for very long, but apparently this is a game set in the Wild West. I like that team, but I haven't played that many good games about that team yet. Even the big one, Western Legends, I liked it, but it still didn't have everything I wanted, or it just was a little bit too fiddly, and there were some flaws to the game, in my opinion, but I'm not talking about that. But in this game, you're taking the role of an impresario. You're building a prosperous town in a newly settled Western territories. You're going to attract settlers through clever dice drafting. Aha! Dice drafting. That's why I'm also looking forward to this game. Dice drafting is an awesome mechanism, and I'm very curious about this one. Like the art quite a bit as well. A little bit cartoony, but it looks gorgeous. So that's one I am really eager to try out. Next is, it's one that also has been on Kickstarter, and I missed that Kickstarter in some way, or I didn't know what it was about, and I just didn't check it out. And this is called Cartographers, a role-player tale. This is set in the universe of Roleplayer, the very cool dice drafting game. But this is a roll and write. Also again, 1 to 100 players. In this roll and write, you're going to try to earn more reputation. And you do that by carrying out the Queen's edicts before the season is over. And I think you must draw. It looks like you're drawing some kind of map in this one. It looks very cool. Some people have been playing it already, and they are using colors and stuff like that to make it cool. And I'm sad that I didn't back this one. So I hope this one will be for sale pretty soon, and so that I can get this on the table myself. Next one is one I was going through the list on Board Game Geek, and I was checking it out. And the first time that I was going through it, it wasn't there because it wasn't there yet. And the second time, so a couple of days ago, I went through the list again. I was making sure that I could download all the pictures and stuff like that. And then I suddenly saw Legendary Encounters Alien Covenant, which is an legendary deck building, an Alien Legendary Encounters deck building game expansion. I did not know that. So it includes 6 new characters, a new hive, more avatars, more strikes, more drones, more agendas, and also cards for the Queen Mother game mode, which included a new enemy called David. So a whole new movie worth of Legendary Encounters alien stuff. I'm very excited. I love that game so much. So more is good. Next one is one that I added to the list at the last minute. I like King Domino quite a bit. Now there is a King Domino Duel, which is also a roll and write game for 2 players this time. And you are, well, you have still some of the feeling apparently from King Domino, but you are going to choose 2 dice to combine into a single domino, and that you have to draw in your kingdoms. I think Rado did a playthrough together with Paul Grogan. I'm curious. I'm not overly excited yet, but I'm curious. The next one, let's see, the next one is, oh, this looks like something very special. And I think it was on the list as being demoed, and now it says it's for sale. So I'm really curious to see what people think about this game. It's called Mystery House Adventures in a Box. Now, it's hard to explain without having seen this in real life, but apparently, in this game, it has 2 scenarios, and there are 2 adventures, and there will be more in the future, and it uses the same game box as a game system. So the game box, so you're imprisoned in this house, and the game box is a house, I think, and you have to solve riddles, right? And you must search for clues in the box, and you have these things that you put on the box, and you can look through hallways and stuff like that. You have to check it out on Board Game Geek, and there are a few pictures that don't say that much, but I'm very intrigued about this one. So it might be something very innovating, and I'm really curious. The first 2 adventures are called Family Portrait and The Lord of the Labyrinth. Sounds cool to me. Really curious about this one. Good publisher as well, Cranio Creations. They do good stuff. Next one, also expansion stuff. I already mentioned Welcome To as being one of my favorite. Well, it's my favorite roll and write-ish game because you flip and write. And there are a bunch of expansion packs coming out for this game with different themes. Summer neighborhood, a winter neighborhood. I already have the one with the bunkers and the Easter eggs, but there are a couple of them coming out, and I'm curious. They all play a little bit different, add new deeds that you want to achieve and all that stuff. So it changes up the game each time you play a little bit. So I'm curious to see which ones are good and which ones are not. All right, next we have a cat here. Next is a game that is 2 to 4 players, but I guess it's mostly for 2 players. It's called Unmatched. Unmatched is it's called Unmatched Battle of Legends. And oh man, don't play with my microphone. So it is an asymmetrical miniatures game for 2 to 4 players, and each hero is represented by a unique deck. So it's very asymmetrical, and you're trying to defeat the other player. I guess they have a number of hit points, and you can use actions to play cards to move around and to attack them, but you can also defend yourself. You have heroes in the base game. You have King Archer. You have with Merlin's magic and stuff like that. You have Alice from Wonderland, who has a giant vorpal blade and the Jabberwock on her side. And you have Medusa. Well, she wants to attack from afar, and she has harpies to join the battle. And I think, who's the 4th one? Sinbad, who grows in power every time he gets experience more. So the longer you wait to kill that guy, he gets stronger. I think there are already a couple of expansions coming with Bruce Lee and Jurassic Park and all that stuff. So it looks special, and I'm curious. I'm curious if it's something for us, because we normally don't like those battle games, but this might be something interesting to try out. Stop messing with the microphone. Thank you. Another one has a Watch It Played, How to Play It video already. It's called Undaunted Normandy by Osprey Games. They make some decent games, some surprising games as well. And in this game, 2 players are going to try to win a scenario, because this is scenario based. So each player has a goal and have their units, which are just tokens on the board. And you're trying to achieve your mission, which can probably, I guess, start from being very simple, straightforward, have control of areas or defeat the enemy and stuff like that, and that goes into more complicated, more advanced scenarios. All right, so but it looks cool. I like the artwork of the box. I don't like the cat being in the way of my laptop, so I cannot see the screen. Next one is, I don't know anything about the gameplay besides that it is a card drafting and set collection game. It is by the marvelous Richard Garfield, creator of Magic the Gathering, Keyforge, and other awesome games. And drafting, I think if he does drafting, it sounds really good. Now, this had a Kickstarter in the past, I think 2 years ago, which... well, it didn't fail, but they stopped the Kickstarter. Even though they already had about $200,000 funded, they canceled the Kickstarter, and now they're going to, publish the game without Kickstarter. Only thing I'm worried about is the marketing that they're doing. They are so hard focusing on the artwork because they're using big artists to do the artwork, and they're putting that out there. But about the gameplay and stuff like that, there's very little information. So I don't think there is already... it has a rulebook, so you can check out the rulebook. I should do that one of these days. But it looks interesting, especially card drafting together with Richard Garfield. Sounds pretty neat. All right, next we have one that's just mainly because it's a roll and write. Although I'm not 100% into roll and writes anymore. I love them, but I'm close to having enough of them. But they are still bringing new stuff to the genre. And this one is called Cat Cafe, where you want to make the best corner in the cat cafe with your scratching poles and stuff like that. Apparently, it's a re-implementation and altered version of the Korean game Cat Tower, which is strange. But this is a light roll and write game in which players draft one die each round and they use the final unused die as well. So you're going to draft dice. I like that. And there will be one left and each player can use that one. So that's always cool. You can use the dice to draw a particular type of cat toy, which is cool, or to place it on a level of a particular tower. So sounds cool to me. Like the idea, like the artwork. So I'm interested for sure. Now, 3 left, folks, and those 3 I'm really curious about. I'm going to start with Point Salad. Now, Point Salad, I must say I pre-ordered this one because I saw a video on Board Game Geek and I like the idea. It looks like a very simple game. You're trying to do set collection and you have these vegetables, cards with vegetables on it, and each round you can take some vegetables. But if you take vegetables, some new cards will appear, some new vegetables from a pile where there are some scoring cards that you can also get. And those scoring cards tell you, for example, if you have the most paprika, you will score that many points. If you have, you get 1 point for each carrot or something like that. But if it changes into a vegetable on the table, that rule is gone. You can also, during the game, change one of your scoring cards. If you see that you cannot score them anymore, you can flip it to its vegetable side. It looks so simple, but I think this is a game where there is a lot to it, and I think this might be a big hit, honestly. So that's Point Salad. Pre-ordered it already, so I hope to get it next month when it releases in Europe. The next one, I'm very curious about this one as well. It's called Silver. It's by Ted Alspach by Bezier Games. It's set in the world, the universe of werewolves. I don't like that game, honestly. It's not my type of game. I can imagine that it is an awesome game, but it's not for me. But it uses also the art style of those games. And in this game, you are trying to... It's kind of a traditional card game. You're trying to... you have 5 face-down cards at the beginning of the game. And you get to see 2 of them, and they're numbered from 0 to 13. And well, I think at the end of the game, during the game you can flip them, and they have rules, they have powers, and all that stuff. But at the end of the game, you want the lowest number, I think, or the lowest total of numbers. It looked intriguing. The idea looks very intriguing, and it has been a long time since a Bézier game has made me so interested in it. So I'm very curious to see. I think people are going to buy this, and it will be played at the convention quite a bit, and it might get a big buzz if it's really good. It might be the new hype, but it has to be very good. The same thing, by the way, for Point Salad. Might be a big hype hit there. Last but not least, also a game that I already pre-ordered. It should arrive somewhere next month, close after GenCon. I could not wait to order it. I saw a playthrough, I've seen some more stuff about it, and this is called Sierra West. This is a game 1 to 4 players. It looks like it has a very cool solo variant that I hope I can do on the channel here. And you are a pioneer in the Wild West, and you're, well, in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. You're going to dig for gold, you're going to settle there, you're going to get resources, put traps to catch animals, and all that stuff. To score points, you have the base game. You also have 4 small modules that you can choose to play with or not. You have Apple Hill, Gold Rush, Boats and Banjos, and Outlaws and Outposts, which each add their special thing to the game. But it looks so good, and I think this might be the big hit of the convention. I think Sierra West will be one of the big games this year at GenCon. So if you get a chance to play it, try it out. I wish I could. And if you get a chance to try and buy it if you like it, because I wish I already had my copy. But I will soon have my copy. Wow, that's it, folks. I'm not sure how long I've been talking, more than half an hour, so I think that will end this one. I'm very curious, are you going to GenCon? If yes, let me know in the comments. Also, if yes, what are you going to try to see for sure? Let me know, maybe put your top 3 of most anticipated games there for sale or for demo, I don't care. If you're not going to GenCon, are you a GenCant follower? I've been in the past. This year I don't have that much time to be really involved in that, but it's still a cool concept, the GenCant movement. But still, let me know, have you seen the Board Game Geek list with everything that will be shown at GenCon, and what would you look at if you were there? Let me know in the comments below. And well, that's it, folks. Thank you for watching this list. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I enjoyed making the list. Now I'm going to enjoy editing everything, which is less fun, but still. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.